Hello friends, welcome to Pyramid Yuva Shakti. I am Divya from Pyramid Yuva Shakti. I am doing meditation past 15 years, and this session has been a great opportunity for me to share all the experiences, all the spiritual wisdom to all my friends through digital media. I feel so thankful and so grateful for this wonderful opportunity. So today is the topic of many masters, many messages. Under this category, we will know about the great spiritual masters, their life stories, and especially autobiography books are great tools and they are great windows to peep into the life of those great masters. The whole life, the richness of experiences, everything is documented and given to us in a single book. So now, today, let us know more about Swami Yogananda Paramahamsa. We also had a session previously where we discussed a few incidents and we had great insight and wisdom from that. So now I would like to share some more incidents from his life. Today, let us focus on how Swami Yogananda Paramahamsa met his Guru Yukteswar Giri. So once he was in the hermitage of Dayananda Swami, there he went and he stayed for some days. And there came a time where Mukunda, that is Yogananda Paramahamsa, wanted more of meditation, more of inner journey, and he had a great thirst, quench the thirst that I have to know about God. Where is God? And he wanted to realize God practically. And this was his thirst. But in the ashram, he was always asked to do some errands, some small works, some tiny services. So he was always indulged in that services and he didn't have the time for inner journey. And that was his biggest worry. And there came a time where he wanted to move away, where the thirst came to a peak, where he literally wanted to meet his guru. He was in search of a spiritual guru who will guide in this path. From the very small age, he had this thirst, but it reached the limit during that time. And he had met a lot of gurus with a lot of specialities. There are many gurus, my dear friends, who are introduced in this book, and each guru has a specialty. But however, he sees every one of them, meets every one of them, knows about them, but yet he doesn't have the inner feel or the acceptance that he or she is my guru. The particular master is my guru. That inner call and inner acceptance didn't happen with Mukunda. So this was the time where he badly needed that God realization. And that is when exactly he will meet Yukteswar Giri. And during the meet of this great master, he will be given an amulet, a mysterious amulet that he receives from his mother. So that was the evidence where all of his past life memories, all of the spiritual guide's teachings were in that amulet. So that amulet was guiding him. And while meeting Yukteswar Giri during that time, the amulet disappears. That is the indication that he is going to meet his guru. And in meditation, he sits in strong determination. I don't know what would happen, but I have to meet my guru. He will be sobbing fully that he wants to know the path, he wants to know the way. And during that meditation, long hours of meditation, he will hear a voice of a woman that you will meet your master today. And then he goes to a marketplace along with another companion. And there he walks by Suddenly, he sees into a small lane. He looks to that lane and he sees some person with orange robes is standing. And he feels like someone is calling there, or someone is, he seems familiar. So all the thoughts run. So, and he feels that, okay, then this may be my dream. So, and then he walks across. But when he tries to walk in the opposite direction of the lane, he feels very heavy, and a, a mysterious weight occurs in his feet that he's not able to move on the opposite direction. But then when he tries to move towards the lane, he feels that automatically the weight is getting reduced. Again, when he goes to the opposite direction, the weight is getting increased. So this was a mysterious feeling where the magnetic energy field of the Guru is attracting Yogananda Paramahamsa. And he then walks slowly into the lane towards the Guru, and he sees him closely. The calm eyes and the divine face he had seen thousands of times in his meditation, in his visions. The Guru will greet him affectionately and says, "For how many years I've been waiting for you?" And that's the great meet that happens between Yogananda Paramahamsa and Yukteswar Giri Master. Then together, both of them go to the hermitage of Yukteswar Giri. They spend some time in complete silence. There was a lot of communication happening, but not verbally. He feels completely from the inner feeling that this master, this person is my Guru. He feels the sense of familiarity. He feels the sense that this person knows God. This person has achieved. He knows about everything. And he feels that, and he accepts automatically that this person is my Guru. And they spent a very long hours together in utter silence, complete silence. And he would turn to Yogananda Paramahamsa and say, "I would pour all of the unconditional love on you. Will you also do the same in return?" And that was a beautiful dialogue, beautiful exchange happening. And he says that you have to go to your home. Don't ignore your home. Don't ignore your family. Don't ignore your relatives. Go and meet them. You have to face them. During that time, Mukunda was facing a lot of humiliation that he was not focused on physical life. He always wanted to achieve something spiritually, go in a spiritual path, find God. And for that, he was ridiculed by his brother, elder brother, that you have no sense of responsibility. And according to the Guru's guidance, he says that you go to your home, meet your family, and he's the one who says that you have to pursue your education, get a graduation degree. Before itself, Yukteswar Giri says that one day you will go to the West, where all of the people will hear this great ancient wisdom coming from your mouth with wide open ears. If only this strange Hindu teacher had a graduation degree. So for that, you have to pursue your education. And he also says that nobody should think in the society that only like if you're not capable of taking this physical life, this physical task, this education. So people may think that only if you're incapable, you're not able to pursue all of that, like an escapism, you're coming into spirituality. So he wanted to remove that mark. And he was the one who advised that you have to pursue the education. And then he says, exactly after 4 weeks, we will again meet together. And that exactly happens where after a month, again, he returns back to Yukteswar Giri Master. So in his hermitage, he would completely spend all of the day where he returns from college, and he spends very beautifully with his master. And to say a few words about the great master Yukteswar Giri. So he was married, he was into marital life, and he had a daughter. Then he became a saint. And then he was running a hermitage at Sirampur, Calcutta. So there is where Yukteswar Giri and Yogananda Paramahamsa would spend completely. And he would learn a lot from his guru. And he was the one where he was with utter discipline, complete discipline. And he wouldn't encourage anyone who was not disciplined in their manners. And he was also treating everyone equally. And masters of such great wisdom, they are away from the wheel of Maya. They see everyone as equal. They see God in everybody. So there used to come a lot of crowds to the hermitage, where poor people come, rich people come, people of high status come. But whoever came, the master will give equal attention to everyone. And if only there were words of truth, he would give keen attention to everyone, irrespective of their status. And that is the great quality of equality the great master had. And he also found that he was very courageous, that a small snake comes into the hermitage, and what the master does is takes it in his hands, pampers it, and then leaves it away into the garden. He also finds he's very courageous. And he is a very minimalist person, very modest, and he always encourages not to go extravagantly, but to find comfort with what you have. And he was very minimalist. He used to just sleep in a normal mat and a pillow and wouldn't expect much. He led a very simple living. And when there were many days where there were wisdom sessions, preachings of Yukteswar Giri Master, and there were complete nights where they would all awake and sit, and they wouldn't realize how the whole night went. So such were the words of wisdom and the radiance of truth from his great words. Further, I would like to say that he was also very scientific with his teachings and with his talks. So great people, doctors, and scientifically established persons come to this master thinking that he is some religious person. He doesn't know all of this. But by the explanation of Yukteswar Giri, they would find that he deals everything scientifically, and he knows a lot of sciences. He knows a lot of scriptures. And they have established or shown miracles that according to the today's scientific world, it's not feasible. And he had a very scientific approach, and all these people were wonderstruck. And the great relationship between both of them would be shown in this book. And we have a lot to learn, my dear friends. And I would like to say that, and when people come to Master Yukteswar Giri, how much ever affectionate he was, the same time he was very strict and he was very straightforward. He was not for flattering people, flattering disciples who come to them. People who wanted just sympathy or recognition or flattery would easily go away from the master. So it is very difficult to be with a great master, my dear friends, to journey with a great master. A guru, a great guru, is like a grand ocean. He is unfathomable. And they always complain to Yogananda Paramahamsa that I cannot understand Guruji. And he would scold that there are thousands of mysteries in this world every second, And how could you comprehend, understand a master by just meeting him and within a few days? So I would like to tell, my dear friends, a grand master is spread across dimensions, is spread across various layers. They are multidimensional. They are widely spread like a grand ocean. And we cannot travel through the ocean or get the grip of the ocean very easily. Such are the grand masters, the great masters. And always we face some tests, some challenges where the guru tests the disciple. And we have to understand the inner meaning from it and understand they are the test, especially when we have ego and we move away from the master. That is when we have to realize that it is a test for us. And also, especially when we feel that when we have an image of a guru, like a guru should be like this, a guru should be like that, when already we have an image, a kind of expectation, false expectation, and we encounter the guru always tries to break that. And that is the tendency. And the next thing is one more incident where Yogananda Paramahamsa says that he will be explaining from the scriptures. It was great wisdom sharing, but he would stop whenever you don't have the seriousness, you don't have the complete attention to what he's telling. And once when Yogananda Paramahamsa was like that, Yukteswar Giri Master would tell, "You were not here completely, Mukunda. I see you are seeing some 3 buildings." And he says that, "Yes, Master, unconsciously, the buildings had appeared in my mind." And he would realize that how much ever concentrated you are, a master can know everything. When you are just before him, when you have the connect, the master knows everything. It's just like a complete mirror where you are standing there. And everything is revealed and everything is open to the master. He knows everything. And he finds that the smallest and smallest of the thought that you have, the distraction that you have, was easily found out by Yukteswar Giri Master. And he would say that these are the 3 buildings that are going to come in the future. And he says that you are going to go to the West, to America. So those buildings were from small, it was the unconscious visions that he had, Mukunda, where one was the yoga school that he will establish in Ranchi, and the next was the headquarters at the Los Angeles. And there were 3 such buildings that were consciously coming to his visions. So this is a great example to tell that a guru knows everything, my dear friends. There is nothing we can hide from a guru. The tiniest of tiniest thoughts. And they say Trikala Jnana. They know everything from the past, from the present, from the future. And if they are telling something, there will be a great wisdom, a great truth in that, which we may not know now at this moment. So our only duty is to accept completely whatever the guru says. And they protect us like anything. That even happens with Yogananda Paramahamsa and Yukteswar Giri Master, where there are many instances where he would guide him that you will face your examinations. When he had the fear of exams, he would guide in each and every path. And there was one incident where Yogananda Paramahamsa feels that from a very small age, he had that attraction towards Himalayas. From the small, he wanted to escape and go to the Himalayas and spend there. And that was coming from his past life. And even after meeting master, this great master, he was still feeling that he wanted to go to Himalayas. He wanted to go somewhere and learn something. But the master rightly guides that there's nothing outside there. The actual work is everything inside. We have to go deep within, and the actual work is inside and not somewhere outside. And he says that it's not necessary for you to go to Himalayas, but he doesn't hear his words. And then his professor will refer someone, and then he will go to a great master called Ram Gopal, where he learns that he was initiated from Babaji, the master Ram Gopal, and he would say that he did like 20 hours of meditation for 20 years, and another 20 years also he had meditated for such long hours, like 18 hours and 20 hours for 20 years, so totally 40 years. And he feels very humble. And to the astonishment, Yogananda Paramahamsa asks that so much sadhana you have done, so much you have achieved, and so much practice you have done, and still you are like very humble and you feel like there is a lot to learn. And he gives a valuable message that never aim for a small mountain, a small hill. Your aim should always be very high. That all persist in God. To understand Him, this sadhana is not enough. This is the example, my dear friends, where we feel that when we are struck by ego, spiritual ego, that where we feel a stage of stagnation, that I have known everything, I've known a lot. So when that feeling comes, we feel stagnated and our flow gets stopped and we don't grow further. It's like a path where you have light, and the moment you think that I know everything, I have known much, that is when the lights go off and there is darkness and you don't know which path to go. That is the feeling of where we are struck, where we are stopped, our growth is stopped. So from this great example where he has done years of sadhana, and he asked that, why don't you initiate me into samadhi? And he says that you are not still yet ready. Master Yukteswar Giri is the right person for you to do that. And he says that the heart, lungs, all the vital organs get electrified in that sadhana of Kriya Yoga. And he says he didn't sleep these 40 years. And there will be no need of sleep because all these vital organs are getting energy. And this is the great message that he gives. And the next thing is about a beautiful incident about mosquitoes, where in the ashram there'll be a lot of mosquitoes, and Mukunda was always disturbed by mosquitoes. And the guru would laugh and tell that he will lose the conscious feeling of mosquitoes. And then he understands that from his guru that he either you will have a will that no mosquito should bite me, you should reach such a state, or you should reach a level of consciousness that even a mosquito bite or anything doesn't matter for you. So that is when he learns that I have to go achieve such a level of meditation, such a level of consciousness where all these outer senses, all these disturbances doesn't hinder me, doesn't affect me. And that is the aim that he has and learns from the mosquitoes incident. And there is another incident, my dear friends, where there he meets a person called Ganda Baba. And I would like to tell, I felt a learning from this incident, where there are many masters who have gained a lot of siddhis, who have gained a lot of spiritual powers through practice. And this Ganda Baba, what he does is, he is capable of producing fragrances. So he could produce a fragrance of a flower, a natural fragrance, in anyone's body, physical body. Or if you just give a flower which doesn't have fragrance, he has the capability, he has the power to bring the fragrance. This was the specialty of Kanda Baba. And Mukunda feels very weird that he asks, how much years did you spend to gain this power? And he says 12 years. Mukunda simply says that you can just buy a bottle of perfume and use it. But why did you waste all of these 12 years to gain such a spiritual power? Is it necessary that we need to prove God or we need to show something in order to make others believe about God? And this is a great lesson, my dear friends, where in our spiritual journey, we can receive lot of powers, lot of siddhis, lot of capabilities, but we need to be very careful about them. And the message I would like to convey is being spiritual doesn't mean having spiritual technology. There are many persons, there are many people who have technology, spiritual technology, and they are very capable spiritually. But the only important thing that we need to remember is we always need to vibrate with the feeling of love, with the feeling of truth, with the consciousness of truth, with the awareness of realizing God within. And if you're able to see everyone as equal without any differences, and if you're able to see God in each and everyone, that is the actual spirituality, my dear friends. That is the actual path that we have to go for. It doesn't mean getting miracles or mastering or capabilities. All that is there, but that is all the part of journey. And we have to just go on experiencing and go on journeying. And the same theme is also conveyed in the book Bringers of the Dawn, where so we have to be with the consciousness of love, of compassion, of other beings, able to see God in everyone. That is the real spirituality, my dear friends. And there is one more incident where he shows the power of thought, Yukteswar Giri Master, where he says that once he had an encounter with Lahiri Mahasaya. Lahiri Mahasaya was the master of Yukteswar Giri. So there was one incident where the Guru says, you feel very sick and you feel very thin. What happened to you? So by that very words, Yukteswar Giri feels that he is very sick and all his energy will go down. And the very next day, the master says that you are okay, you are going to be okay tomorrow. Nothing is going to happen. By hearing those words, he will feel very energetic, and tomorrow and the next day he automatically feels good and healthy. And he says that everything is whatever you have said, master. But actually, he says that everything is there in your thought. He says that like electricity, like gravitation, thought is a great energy. Whatever we completely concentrate, completely believe, exactly happens in reality, my dear friends. The physical manifestations are nothing but the reflections of the energy system you have within. The physical things are just reflections that we always need to remember, and we can change them anytime. And there is nothing called as impossible. And he would experience the miracle of gaining weight. And previously, he used to be very lean. But after this incident, and he says that you would gain weight. And the Guru says that, and automatically, within one day, Yukteswar Giri gains 50 pounds of weight. And that was a great miracle. And seeing that incident, many disciples would come and reach Lahiri Masaya Master. So by this, what we understand is our thought can have great power, great things, that we can do anything with our thought if only it's completely concentrated, completely focused. Such is the energy of thought, where even we can change our body, change the weight at will, anything. And we also know that the Egyptian pyramids, the stones were cut in exact blocks through the help of thought, through the thought power. Thought can do anything in the material plane, my dear friends. We can manifest, make use of the thought, and bring changes in the physical plane. Such is the energy of thought, and this incident beautifully shows that. So I hope you all enjoyed these incidents. Behind every experience, behind every incident, there is a great message that we have to learn. And the humility that he had, that doing years of sadhana, 18 hours a day, 20 hours a day, like that he did 40 years, but the feeling of humility he had, that is the great takeaway that we have to have, my dear friends. So I request everyone to read spiritual books. They greatly elevate us. Once we observe our system, whatever we see, whatever we experience with these physical senses, your inner system is always reflecting that. When you just close your eyes and look through your mind, whatever you have seen in the TV or heard, all these run unconsciously without you knowing, without you permitting, all these enter automatically. So that is why when we read spiritual books, always, all those thoughts, all those energies, we are always in connect with that energies, my dear friends. And we are always connected, and we stay in elevated state of awareness when we are with spiritual books, when we read spiritual books. So thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Now, let us go into meditation sometime. I'll be playing a nice music. Along with the music, let us start meditating. So people new to meditation, there is a lot that we can achieve through meditation, my dear friends. Whatever in this science, which is very limited, there are things, there are miracles, there are some things that we achieve through spiritual power that cannot be understood by today's science. So let us explore, go into the inner adventure. Let us get into the spiritual adventure. Meditation is very, very easy and simple process. We just have to be in a natural state, my dear friends. What is the natural state of us? Is the no thought state, without any thoughts. Just becoming a witness and observing the normal and natural breathing. Slowly our thoughts go away and we enter into the state of tranquility. That is when huge amounts of cosmic energy from the universe gets into ourselves. So let us sit wherever we are, as comfortable. We should always remember that whenever we are charging our mobile, we have to remember that we have to charge ourselves. We have to feel that thinking is one of the sense. Like 5 senses we have, smelling, seeing. So all these senses, we have to always feel that thinking is also a sense. And we should be able to on and off our thinking at our will. And that is possible through meditation. We see smart things around us, smart appliances. Automatically the lights off when we move away from that place to save energy, conserve energy. They are very smart. We call them smart. We are building smart appliances in the outside world, but what about us? When are we going to become smart? When are we going to switch off our thinking at our will? That is only possible through the power of meditation, my dear friends. Meditation can easily bring us to that state. So let us close our eyes. People wearing specs can remove the specs. Cross your legs, clasp your hands, close your eyes. Forget everything in the outside world. Forget about your family. Forget about your things. Just become one and with the normal, natural breathing process. You will be listening to a nice music now. Along with the music, let us meditate. My dear masters, thoughts whatsoever in the mind, it has become one with you and good. Meditation is the time we spend completely within ourselves. Spend completely with ourselves. happiness, unlimited enjoy. Last 3 minutes. Let us come to the eyes. Meditation is encountering the heaven within. Unlimited joy, unlimited happiness. Meditation is the time we enjoy the unison with the cosmos. Slowly place both your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Slowly open your eyes. Let us give a big applause for ourselves for doing this beautiful meditation. Let us not miss our daily meditation, my dear friends. Let it become a fundamental activity in our daily life, like how we brush, how we eat, how we sleep. Meditation has to be completely blended into our life, into our daily task. So let us meet again tomorrow at the same time. We will know about a master. So tomorrow is the day of spiritual journey. So we'll know about a great young master, know about their journey into meditation. So thank you all. Let us meet again tomorrow.